Hi there. This is John Anthony Francis Wilcox, and today is Saturday, the 1st of July, 2023. Happy July to you all. So, I mentioned last week, when last we got together, that I was going to be going the next day to the Midsummer Fantasy Renaissance Fair in Ansonia here in Connecticut, which in fact I did. So let's tell you a bit about that because that was the main thing in the week. Um, I went with my friend Lisa and her friend Ellen, who I'd never met. Turns out they've been friends since I think Lisa said the first grade, so quite some time. And she was very nice. And we went up to Ansonia. First, Lisa had previously been with her husband to Bermuda. And I asked her, I said, when you're in Bermuda, can you get some inexpensive thing that says Bermuda that's tacky? And she delivered. She brought me back a shot glass that says Bermuda on the bottom, and it has two big glass boobs in bikini, like a blue bikini. That was hilarious. So, and thank you again for that, Lisa. So we got to the Ren Fair, no trouble at all. And when we got to the gate, before they could ask for anything, any money, anything, I said, Mama, my friend Marcy works there, and everyone calls her Mama. I said, Mama said for me to go down to this gate here to go and go in that gate because I'm handicapped. And I was like, okay. And then I had to stop again about halfway down and tell the person the same thing. Got all the way down there. Someone immediately helped me pushing my wheelchair through the gate to the relaxation tent. Normally that's where Marcy would be, but she was sitting at another booth working at that. And so Lisa went and fetched her. She came over. It was great to see her. Hadn't seen her far too long. She was dressed up as a gnome for this particular day. And, you know, a lot of people in garb. A lot of people hadn't seen since the last time I was at a Ren Fair was 2019 at this same Renaissance Fair. So, yeah, 2019. So it was good to be back. Saw a lot of familiar faces. Met a lot of new people, including a absolutely charming, wonderful, and beautiful woman named Jessica, who was a real sweetheart and a half. We had a lovely conversation. I could have just talked all day with her and I would have been fine. So because I was in a wheelchair and that, you know, the fair was basically me sitting in my wheelchair while people came over to me and I talked with a bunch and photographed. And Lisa and her friend went round and saw different events and stuff. And we all had a jolly time. I could have stayed another few hours easily. It was so nice, speaking of Marcy, to see her daughter Misty, who is a friend as well, who I adore. And so she came over and we talked, and she was full of hugs and kisses, just like her mom. And I almost cried because at one point she gave me a hug and a kiss, and she said, "I love you, John," which just absolutely touched me. And I said, "I love you too, Misty." And so that was very sweet, and it was just it was so nice to see a lot of people who were glad that I was there, you know, and I was glad to be there. I think it kind of hit me how I've been, you know, illness had taken me away from my normal activities, and it still has, but it was good to be at one. So, again, I would have stayed longer, but Lisa and her friend really felt the heat and the sun quite a bit, and they were hungry. So, said my goodbyes to everyone. Marcy came back, gave her some hugs and kisses. She's such a dear friend. And we made our way out of there and tried to find somewhere that we could all have something agreeable to eat. Um, Ellen is, I believe, vegan, so we had to find something with some choices, and we ended up at a Panera, which was fine. I had to pee, and it was really a challenge getting in and out of that bathroom because it's a wider wheelchair and it's just a lot of work. Thankfully, a guide was helpful holding the door and that, but I still managed to cut this hand open because as I was getting up off the toilet seat, I was like, "What's all this blood?" And I looked, oh, it's me. Evidently, on one of the doors, I had cut my knuckle open and it was bleeding rather profusely. It's a new tongue. Sorry about that. And so I got some toilet paper, wadded it up, and held it there till I was wheeling back to where we were sitting. And I said to a lovely woman working there, "Do you have any kind of band-aids or that back there? Because I cut my hand open." And she went back and brought me back something. She was a very sweet person. Went back and joined Lisa and Ellen. I had Lisa, gave her the money and had her order me a new kind of sandwich there that was black forest ham with melted Gouda. It also had arugula on it. And I told her, just please make sure there's no tomato. And I don't know if it came with it or not, but there was no tomato, thankfully. The one thing I didn't tell her that I should have told her is I don't eat mustard. I'm not a huge fan, and they had put some mustard on it. But you know what? It was fine. It worked fine. Um, if I had it again, I'd have it the same way. It was a very tasty sandwich on a big. It was a big sandwich, and it came with the chips, which I gave to Ellen. Then I had a nice diet iced tea, and then I thought, let me bring something back for my nephew. So I said, let's find a local pizzeria. And Lisa said, well, let's do it while we're still here. So she looked up on her phone, and I wanted to get a Sicilian pizza. And we tried one place, and they didn't make Sicilian pizza. So I said, well, what's the next place? And it was like, I don't know if it was even a mile away. So we called there, a place called Legends Pizza in Ansonia. I ordered Sicilian. It was a good deal, 17.50. That's really good for a Sicilian pizza. And so after we finished up, we hopped over there, and Ellen went in and picked up the pizza. I found out why it's called Legends because I had her grab me a menu, and inside you could see the inside of the place on the menu. It's evidently full of like old Hollywood pictures. And I loved looking at the menu that they make sandwiches, named after celebrities. They had the Audrey Hepburn and the Charlie Chaplin and the Frank Sinatra and things like that. Dean Martin. In fact, they had like the whole Rat Pack. There was a Sammy Davis Jr., there was a Peter Lawford, there was Joey Bishop. So, so there you go. And so, also, I neglected to mention that I love like little knitted things from these Ren fairs, and Lisa brought me this little wonderful bumblebee, about that big, absolutely gorgeous, wonderful, beautiful. Thank you again, Lisa. And so came in, you know, and my body hurt for the entirety of this week from the thing. In fact, like the outside of my right leg, just behind the knee, hurts because where it was pushing up in the car. And my lower back still hurts because that was the longest I was ever in a wheelchair, by the way, which I wouldn't recommend. But when you need it, you need it. And in fact, I'm wearing this for this video in tribute. I wore this there in a black, actually a dark gray shirt, and that was as close as I got to garb. I couldn't find my white cotton shirt that has the lacing here. Uh, well, hopefully I'll find it in time for next year. But so it was a wonderful time. Everyone there was wonderful to me. It's going on this weekend and next weekend in Ansonia. If you can make it there, I highly recommend it. It's full of wonderful people. It's a very family friendly, great event. If you can go there, go there. Please do. So for the rest of my week, um, just, I don't know, annoying governmental stuff, I'll just say. And some family things going on, and me not feeling that great. So air quality has really been hitting me. Doing my best, though. Anyway, I hope you're all doing well. Please be in touch. I love you all. Listen to some cow sills. See you next time. Love you. Bye bye.